Welcome back. Welcome to the second installment of the ab challenge. Today I'm going to be discussing a little bit about the internal abdominal oblique. Now you remember last week when we went through the transversus abdominis, I mentioned this was part of the intrinsic core group. The internal abdominal oblique is again part of the intrinsic core group. The reason we call it the intrinsic core is because it attaches to the thoracolumbar fascia at the back, which helps to stabilize the spine and support our trunk. So transverse abdominis, internal abdominal oblique are part of the intrinsic core group. Also worth re-mentioning again is these intrinsic core muscles fire when we exhale. So really important we get long exhales just to get these stabilizing muscles to do this role of support. You'll also see today that I've got a block. So this is going to be something we'll introduce just to make the ab exercise just a little bit more difficult. So you really start to feel those abs wake up. Okay, lie on your back. Okay, so neck long, broad shoulders. Start to take inhales into your side ribs and then exhales out through your mouth. Inhale into your side ribs. Exhale out through your mouth. And worth mentioning, we breathe into the side ribs so we can get an equal expansion in all directions through the breath. Now, as we go into the internal abdominal oblique, it's worth mentioning here that the internal abdominal oblique helps with our rotational movement. So you'll find, like, in your typical gait patterns, right foot forward, left arm would come with it, and then it's alternate. So as you're rotating and moving, you'll find that you'll need the internal abdominal oblique to help support our rotational stability, typically. So of course, here then we're going to find ways in which we can find areas where we can rotate and develop power through our breath. Do left hand inner right thigh, like so. I press against the hand and equally press back against the inner thigh. Inhale, breathe into your side ribs. Press against the inner thigh, back against the hand, breathe out through your mouth. Long exhales if you can. Inhale into side ribs. Out through mouth, keep the resistance between hand and leg. Make sure you as well curl pubic bone to navel. One more breath here, in through nose. Keep resistance between hand and leg. Breathe out through mouth, curl pubic bone to navel. For the purpose of a short video, I'm just going to keep it there, just 3 rounds of breath there. When you're practicing this yourself, you can up the repetitions. A good guideline is anywhere between 12 to 15 breaths in the first round and just bring it down each time you do another set. Change sides, right hand, inner left thigh. Again, keep equal resistance between hand and leg. Breathe into side ribs. Out through mouth, press, curl pubic bone to navel. Into side ribs, inhale. Out through mouth, curl pubic bone to navel. One more breath here, in through nose, side ribs expand. Out through mouth, curl pubic bone to navel. Good, everyone. Take a natural breath here, resting both hands and feet on the floor. Okay, so some of you may have noticed that there was a difference in strength between the two sides. If you notice one was predominantly weaker, go back to the weaker side and repeat that a few more rounds. This is the weaker pattern in your rotational movement, so it's worthwhile strengthening that weaker pattern, trying to bring in more of an equanimous balance through your rotational movements. Making this a little bit harder then from here. Block to right thigh and then bring the left elbow across. You can make this a little bit harder by lifting this left leg up and bringing it towards the floor. If you are going to do the option of the lifted leg, make sure you keep the integrity of the spine. So you can see here, this is a compensation where you might find the lower spinal lift. So working on keeping the lower back to the mat as you exhale. So just choosing what suits you. You may want to do a couple of rounds just to test things out. Breathing in. On the exhale, press against the block. Breathe out through your mouth. Inhale through the nose. Long exhales through the mouth. Press against the block. Still curling that pubic bone to navel. Inhale through the nose. Out through the mouth. Exhale, curl pubic bone to navel. This really does tend to fire that intrinsic core area. Quite challenging as well. Switch legs, right elbow to left leg. And again, I'm going to make it a bit harder for myself. Extend right leg, left arm, breathing in. Exhale through the mouth, press against block. Inhale through the nose. Press against the block, exhale. Let's do one more here. Inhale through the nose. Long exhales, create that effort, that resistance as you breathe out. And release. Take rest. And again, everyone, if you found there was a predominantly weaker side here, repeat on the weaker side a few more rounds. I hope you found today's short video useful. Tune in next week, we'll be looking at the external abdominal oblique, the extrinsic, the first layer of the extrinsic core family of abs. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for joining.